Track 32, Unit 5. Listening to Flocks, Schools, and Swarms.
Good morning, everyone. Today, our topic is flocks, swarms, and schools. That probably sounds confusing, so I'll try to make the lecture clear and understandable, and interesting. To do that, I'll cover 3 areas. First, I'll give you some background information, including what scientists want to know. Then, I'll introduce the key terms, flock behavior, and swarm intelligence, and explain what they are. Finally, we'll look at some ways that our understanding of flocks and swarms is useful. I'll go slowly so you can take notes. And you should write down any questions you have, so you can ask me at the end. Okay, let's start with some background. We all know that birds fly in the sky, fish swim in the sea, and ants walk on land. That makes them very different. But they do have something in common. They often move together in large groups very efficiently to find food, to avoid danger, or to build a home. Scientists study these groups of birds, fish, and insects to discover 2 things. First, is there authentic evidence of a pattern in this group behavior? And second, what can we learn from this group behavior to help humans solve real-world problems? Now, let's look more closely at how this group behavior works. For example, how does a flock of birds fly so close together in a perfect V or S arrangement? How does a school of hundreds of fish change direction instantly, all together, when they see a shark? How does a swarm of ants make a perfectly straight line moving toward food that's far away? Well, the answer is called flock behavior, or swarm intelligence. Those terms just mean that all the birds, fish, and ants, when they are in a large group, follow the same reliable pattern of behavior. And this pattern includes just 3 simple rules. First, they should all move in the same direction as their neighbors. Second, they should remain close to their neighbors. And third, they shouldn't crash into any of their neighbors. Sounds simple, right? But what's really interesting is that the flocks and swarms that move so perfectly together have no leader directing them. In other words, each member of the flock or swarm acts and moves individually following the 3 rules. This is an example of what scientists call self-governing behavior. Now, last, to understand how flock behavior or swarm intelligence relates to our lives, we should consider some examples. I'd like to mention just 3. First, air traffic controllers create profiles of different flight patterns of bird flocks, and they use these to figure out the safest flight patterns for airplanes to avoid accidents. Second, factory managers are copying the ways ants work together to make their production lines quicker. And third, city planners use information about schools of fish to make large public spaces, like football stadiums and subway stations, more user-friendly. Okay, I will stop now so you can ask questions. Yes, Danny.